they'll be one of them. And I think, Lovie Smith, the former coach of Chicago, his new team, Tampa Bay, I think is ready to challenge for a wild card spot simply because I think Carolina's going to take a significant step back. I'm not sure if Atlanta's quite there yet. And I think Lovie Smith will steer the ship and get them going in the right direction defensively. And offensively, they've kind of mimicked what Chicago did, bringing in Josh McCown and getting those big receivers. They drafted Mike Evans to team with Vincent Jackson and also Austin Safarian-Jenkins, the tight end. So they have 3 6'5" receivers. And we all know how well Josh McCown did with them last year in Chicago.
Yeah, there's a reason Lovie made that move. And Lovie in general, I like Mike Pettin, but that was who I really wanted the Browns to go after, and they didn't even make a move in that direction. But I agree. I think he's going to turn things around quick over there in Tampa Bay and get them up and running. Let's slip over to the AFC. How about in the East? New England still head and shoulders above that division?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a one-deep division, and that's it. There's nobody who can even challenge the Patriots. It seems like it's almost New England's birthright, and 2014 will be no different.
I agree.
It's a 12, 13-win team, and one of the reasons they are is because they don't have any competition in the division.
And, you can see each one of those other teams, Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, all have various issues of their own here just to have a successful season this year. I agree with you. That one's kind of the runaway of all of them. How about over in the West? Denver, Kansas City, Oakland, San Diego. San Diego, Kansas City, are they going to bounce back and contend for that division title here? And how about Oakland with the rookie going? Who comes out of the West?
No, it's similar. The AFC is pretty clear-cut. The NFC is much more open. Denver, was always going to be a serious threat to get back to the Super Bowl as long as Peyton Manning returned. But they also won, free agency, so to speak, bringing in DeMarcus Ware, bringing in Aqib Talib, bringing in T.J. Ward. So they're a much more talented team defensively. And we're talking about a team that lapped the AFC field last year, so they're going to dominate just as much this year, even with the Wes Welker suspension. They can there might even be a silver lining to that because, remember, he had just come off his third concussion in 10 months, so, maybe him sitting for a month will actually help him in the long run. So Denver's set up really well to make another Super Bowl run.
No, I was thinking that myself about Welker, actually. I said, well, if there was a time for him to get hurt, to get suspended, he's also hurt, so this may not be a bad thing for them. And before we even go any further, are you where I'm at, New England, Denver? Is that your championship game, the way things look, shaking things out to start the season?
Yeah, you hate to go chalk because that was the championship game last year. But it's really hard to pick out another contender in the AFC that can reach that kind of level. I guess you could argue Indianapolis if Andrew Luck continues to develop and picks it up at a rapid pace. Simply because if he eventually joins that elite crew, we always talk about Manning, Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. If he joins that group, all of a sudden Indianapolis is in the conversation. But I think it's a little bit too early to expect that. And in the North, I kind of like Baltimore to bounce back. And maybe that's that one under the radar candidate. Obviously John Harbaugh has a tremendous history. And they've improved the offensive line. That was a big issue last year. They couldn't replace Matt Burke, who retired after the Super Bowl. But they brought in a new center, Jeremy Zuta from Tampa Bay, so they'll be better there. They'll have Eugene Monroe for the whole year. And also, remember Steve Smith's there. So they now have that third down target they missed without Anquan Bolden, and Dennis Pitt is healthy. So I think Baltimore's going to bounce back and win the North. I think the Colts are going to win the South. But if you're talking about the AFC as a whole, it's chalk, and Denver's going to win it.
As much as it pains me to agree there, I agree with Baltimore. I do think that they're the best team in the North. How about your wild card squads? Who do you got? You've got New England, Denver, Indianapolis, and Baltimore winning the divisions. Kansas City, that seems to be a prime suspect. You think they pull it off? Houston, that defense is going to be something. Can they turn it around from worst to playoffs? Who do you got making the wild card?
Unfortunately for people in Cleveland, I have Pittsburgh as one and San Diego as the other. I think, Pittsburgh has finally realized that needed to revamp that defense a little bit, and I think bringing in Ryan Shazier and Stephon Tuitt's going to help them immensely to get some youth on the defensive side of the ball, and people forget just how talented Ben Roethlisberger is at times. So they'll be fine offensively. And the Chargers, maybe the most underrated quarterback in football is Phillip Rivers. He might not have the reputation as those true elites we just talked about, but he plays at a level, only those top-tier signal callers can reach. So in a quarterback-driven league, that's kind of a big deal. And I think, having a guy who's that consistent on a week-to-week basis will get San Diego back to the playoffs.
I've always been a big Phillip Rivers fan, too. I believe that he just quietly goes about his work every year. Whenever he's available in fantasy football seasons, I'm like, yep, I'll take him late in the draft, man, because he's just that sleeper guy that people always are sleeping on, man. And then, boom, he's always putting numbers out there. So you've got Denver coming out of the AFC. You said in the NFC, New Orleans and Seattle. Who do you got representing them in the Super Bowl?
I think it'll all come down to home field because we know how Seattle's 17-1 on their home field since Russell Wilson's taken over as the starting quarterback. So the key is which of those teams gets home field. I think it's going to be the Saints this time around, and they're just as good at the Superdome as the Seahawks are in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm picking the Saints to go to the Super Bowl against Denver. And this time, though, I think Denver gets over the top because of all the improvements they've made on the defensive side of the ball.
I'll tell you what, from the marketing standpoint, the NFL would have no problem with your Super Bowl with Breeze and Manning and all the stars and everything that you can promote with that one, Denver and New Orleans. All right, let's put it down when it comes to Cleveland, my man, the Browns. What's your outlook on the season record for the Browns here this season?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be an easy season for the fans of Cleveland or Mike Pettin in his first year on the job. And, a lot of it's not his fault. We've talked about it, and I don't think, Ray Farmer did what he should have done to get, him the roster prepared for the regular season. It's going to be it's going to rely on the defense. It really is. And so it's all on Mike Pettin because it's going to be his defense. And he's going to need them to keep them in games and hopefully win some 50-50 games in the fourth quarter with a play here or there. But overall, I just, I'm thinking 4 or 5 wins for Cleveland, unfortunately.
Hey, man, honesty. I'm not asking you to tell me what I want to hear, man. And a lot of people are in that area. Some people, we've heard anywhere from there to, I think the most optimistic prediction has been 8-8 if all goes well. So, all right, I'm with you. How do they start the season? Cleveland, Pittsburgh this weekend. How do you think the season starts? You got a winner for this weekend?
I feel like they're piling on because if you think, obviously, people there know better than anyone else. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's 17-1 as a starter in his career against Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that you're going on the road to Pittsburgh for a team that's playing with some urgency because, the Steelers aren't used to 8-8 seasons, and they've had back-to-back mediocre teams. So I don't think it's a good spot for them in Week 1. Maybe look for a Steelers 27-14 win.
All right, there you go, putting it down, and now it starts tomorrow. The games start playing, and hopefully we're concentrating for at least the next 18, 20 weeks or so on the field and not the off the field. John, my man, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward Monday. We will be talking about the first week in the books of the regular season. I can't wait.
Hey, it's always fun. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, my man, John McMullen from the Sports Network. He's with us. I know today is not Monday, but he's with us every Monday. Normally, we were on a holiday, so he joined us in the middle of the week here. This week, he's with us every Monday, recapping the weekend NFL action and talking about the Browns right here on the Sports Fix. So there's his predictions. I got them in the book. I'm keeping the book here of everybody so we can look back at the end of the season. We're going to take a break. When we come back, let's keep the football talk going, but switch it to the college field. Buckeyes, OHIO. Let's talk a little bit with Dan Wismar about the Buckeyes, the victory over Navy, Virginia Tech. Is this the first potential stumbling block coming across the Buckeyes' way? Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan joins us next, talking Buckeyes and probably a little bit about the Browns and the Tribe and whatever else we can get into. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan, next on the Sports Fix.
The Sports Fix, your choice for intelligent talk.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Intelligent talk.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
These guys must be on the wrong station.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!
The Sports Fix. It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Incoming transmission. You got a message.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all week to join in on the fun. Follow the Sports Fix on Facebook. They love friends. It's just a click away. Exclusive contests, trivia, tickets, and giveaways from the hottest sports show in town, The Sports Fix. Become a friend and follow The Sports Fix on Facebook today.
Message.
Hey everybody, listen up.
Listen up, guys.
Hey guys, listen up.
No one should ever hit a woman.
Not their wife, not their girlfriend, not their date. No woman should have to fear violence.
Especially not from someone they know and trust.
But that's the reality for too many women.
We have to change it.
It's up to each of us, because even one is too many.
Violence against women hurts all of us. Growing up, I was ashamed and afraid of my father when he abused my mom.
The worst abuse of power is when a man raises his hand to hurt a woman. We all have to take responsibility. So if you see someone threatening a woman, step up, speak out, and get help.
Dating violence hurts all of us. So step up and help end it. Because one is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
One is too many.
End the violence. Because it's wrong.
Because one is too many.
Hey, you guys are rocking with Reggie Germany, former wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills and Ohio State Buckeye. You're rocking with the Sports Fix.
Do we want to get rocked?
Welcome to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock, Jerry Myers back with you, rolling on, getting ready to go back to the phones. My man Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan getting ready to pick up the conversation. We're going to talk some Buckeyes here. Thanks to John McMullen from the Sports Network for being with us last segment as well. Hey guys, phone lines aren't open. Keep the conversation rolling on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix, CLE, all one word, although my Twitter is just giving me all kinds of problems today refreshing the page. I don't know if you guys ever get that, man. Sometimes that thing will just hang There's all kinds of glitches on that sometimes. I don't know. My computer's heavy usage here during the show. We've got, I think, like, I don't know, 80% of the resources right now. So, I don't know. Let's not push the issue too much. But tweet with me at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. We're going to talk a little cornucopia and stuff here with my man Dan Wismar, but definitely going to talk some Buckeyes. We'll look ahead to the next game on the slate coming up this weekend with Virginia Tech. I want to get his thoughts, too, on last week.